It's the final seconds of a basketball game. The score is 45-44. Your team's down 1 point. But your teammate makes a mistake, and if you could just take it back, you may win. But in speedrunning, it's so easy to take that away. All you have to do is one splice, one Photoshop edit, or use a modded console to make your character go faster or cut loading screens. I'll be going over 3 ways some cheat and the biggest speedrunner that was caught earlier this month. So the first way some cheat is called splicing. This is where you take multiple clips of one run or like multiple runs that you did your best on and edit them together. So say I was speedrunning Breath of the Wild. I could record me fighting Ganon in each stage and multiple times and take the best clips out of those fights and edit them together. So in the example I'm going to use, I'll be doing a map called surf_utopia, which is it's the same clip I'm going to use for everything, and I've done all the ways that you can cheat on that clip. So in this clip, I'll be going to the first jail, which the jails are like when you fail. So if you do bad, you go to the jail. So I go to the first jail, and if you want to try and watch the splice, spoilers ahead. In that clip, when I go around the left turn to get to the jail, I edit me skipping the turn. So on the main ramp, I do a big launch, get some height, and then in the other clip that I edited on, I take the curve ramp, then get more height, and then just skip to the jail and edit it together so it just looks like I completely skipped the turn ramp. So the next way some cheat is called TAS, which stands for Tool Assisted Speedruns. This is where someone will take like a modded console to make a character go faster or cut loading screens. In my example, I use something called bhop scripts, which allows me to jump as soon as I hit the ground and gain more speed. So again, on the turn, on the main ramp, I can skip most of the main ramp by getting speed on the right turn before it. And instead of surfing on the main ramp, I can just hop on the top of it, bhop, and it gets me an extra 100 speed to skip the right turn. So the third way some cheat is called photoshopping. So once I get to the jail, my time automatically stops because of the red zone around it. I can edit this in to make my time shorter if I got a faster time, or if I just want to go to a certain point for like 12 seconds, I can edit that onto the regular 30 seconds and take me. So back in the day, this would have been way more easier to do because most people didn't have the technology to record, but they did have the technology to take photos. So referees would have to trust photos more than recordings back in the day. This leads me on to my next paragraph, which is about the biggest gamer pretty much in the world, Todd Rogers. He was the first paid gamer, and he did speedrunning. So recently his referee verified time of a 5.51 on an Atari game called Dragster was exposed. The way it was exposed was this Redditor made a chart of all possible times on Dragster, and a 5.51 wasn't even possible. So later he came out with another score of a 5.54, and this time he had picture evidence. Coincidentally, it wasn't on the chart, and when taken into Photoshop and other ways to verify if it was real, it found a grid pattern, which how most people Photoshop is you put a grid pattern on the numbers, copy a number from that square, and edit it onto the squares that you want to change. And there was a grid pattern on his picture verified time. And for all of his scores, they were verified by the same referee, and this doesn't help his picture very much, but that referee's in jail for a different cause. So after all this, I think you may have won the basketball game. You could have spliced out the teammate messing up. You could have used a TAS to grab the ball out of someone else's hands from the other side of the court, or you could have photoshopped your score in. And hopefully this allows you to go back to the games you loved, that you played the heck out of, and revive them.